Good morning, class.
Good morning, sir.
Is it clear? Voice is clear?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Voice is clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Voice is clear.
Hello? Krishna?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So voice is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good morning. So yesterday class, I'm going to just briefly discuss because yesterday I don't know what is the problem was. It could not record it. So I'll just briefly introduce what I've discussed yesterday and then we'll continue to the temporal and spatial coherence part. So in the study class, we discussed about the law of reflection based on the Huygens wave theory, and we found that if we have the plane mirror, okay, and then suppose we have the incident light, incident plane wavefront is falling on this, like this, AB. AB is the plane wavefront, it's propagating along this direction and falling on this plane mirror, and this the angle of incidence. So after tau time, the velocity is v. So point after tau time v will reach at this point. Okay, that is the v prime, and at the same time the wavefront which is already in the plane mirror will be reflected and it will reflected back to the in the first medium. So the wavefront will look like this. So this is the A prime. So here VB is incident plane wavefront and A prime B prime is reflected plane wavefront, right? And then we prove that this angle of reflection, so this will be angle of reflection R, and then we take another point here, and then we draw this, and then we draw this, and this is the 90 degree. So this is also angle of incidence. So we follow this point as B1, and then this was the P point, okay, and this was the P1 point, and then we saw this triangle. Then we saw this P2 point. So we saw this triangle, and from this triangle we found that
Sir,
yes.
sir, if you are sorry, sir. सर कल की रिकॉर्डिंग है मेरे पास.
Oh, you have the recording?
Yes, sir. I have the recording.
Okay, that's good. Just share with me. Okay, just I will briefly introduce it. Okay, it will not take much time. So we follow the congruent geometric condition, and from there we prove that angle of incidence, that is I equal to angle of reflection. So angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. So based on this geometry, we proved yesterday this large of reflection based on the Huygens wave theory. Then we discussed about the temporal and spatial coherence. Temporal and spatial coherence. And we know that how the radiation is emitted from a light, so from any atom, that we know that suppose the atom in the ground state, so after the absorption, this atom will go to the excited state here, and then after some time, because of the spontaneous emission, will come to the ground state, or because of the stimulated emission, this will come to the ground state, this atom, and then it will emit a radiation. And this radiation is nothing but the laser. Okay, laser radiation. So when the atom emit a single frequency, that is one frequency, so how it look like? Suppose this is the frequency on the bottom, and then if the laser is emitted a single frequency, so it will be a line. Okay, because it this line is correspond to a particular frequency, one value, one frequency it is it's showing, and this is the ideal case. Ideal case. This is the also known as the line width. And a line width of this line is very infinitesimally small. We call it line width is infinitesimal small. Okay, because it's carrying the single frequency. But this is the ideal case that a radiation emitted from any source is a single frequency. For example, if you take this light source in my room, which we are seeing, or in your room also, what the light you are having, like bulb or any sunlight, they carry to the multiple frequency. They do not carry a single frequency. They emit the multiple frequency, a range of the frequency of radiation, and then in compare to this, the line width of that light source which emitting the light which carrying the a particular width of the frequency. So line width will look like this. This is the frequency. So you see that here we have only one frequency, so we have one line, but here in this envelope we can have many line here, vertical line like this, and each line belongs to a single frequency, other frequency. So what is the meaning of this? Meaning of this that in this spectrum and this line width or this radiation consists of many frequency or range of the frequency. Okay, and this width is known as delta nu. Line width is represented by delta nu because it having a range of the frequency which is emitted by a source. Okay, so this is the basic difference. So this radiation which having a single frequency is known as the monochromatic light source, while this is not a ideal monochromatic. Okay, because it is having a range of the frequency. So we can say that this is the basically quasi monochromatic. Or if the frequency is large, then we also call it non-monochromatic light. Okay, so how this happens? So suppose we have the monochromatic light source. So how the monochromatic light source we can represent graphically? Let's see. So for example, study we also discussed that if we have a perfect sinusoidal wave like this, suppose it is in time, it is keep going like a sinusoidal like this. So because this wave having a single frequency, it is having a single frequency as a single one period. After each period, this is repeating with the same frequency. So this source is known as the monochromatic source, monochromatic light. Okay, since it is having the only one frequency, one monochromatic light, so this wave is also known as the having the temporal coherence, or we can call it the coherent time. Okay, this we can call it the coherent time of this light source. we have defined the spatial coherent and the temporal coherent. Coherence time. Coherence time of this source basically represented by tau c is tending to infinite. Because this monochromatic light remains sinusoidal for an infinite time. So from there we can say that this is the coherence for an infinite time. And since the coherence time is infinite, so we also studied, we define the length, coherence length. Coherence length LC is given by C into tau C. Since coherence time is infinite, so coherence length will also be infinite. So for example, if suppose this on the horizontal unit, this is the time earlier, now suppose we have the some, it is a unit of the meter, some distance unit. So also the coherence length will be infinite. So this length for which a light wave will be sinusoidal behavior, that extent of the region is known as the coherence length. Okay, so basically coherence time and coherence length are defined as the length in which the wave remains sinusoidal, or the coherence time is the time in which the wave remains the sinusoidal. So that time, that length is known as the coherence time and the coherence length. Okay, so this is the definition of the coherence time and the coherence length. Similarly, one can define the, since we know that this coherence time is the temporal, are basically the temporal coherence. The coherence time is infinite, so we can say that this wave is completely temporal coherent source. So we can say that this source which emitting this radiation is the source is completely temporal coherent. Okay, which showing this coherent time infinite. Completely temporal coherent source. And what is the temporal coherence means? Temporal coherence is nothing but the manifestation of the spectral purity. You can write this. Temporal coherence is nothing but the manifestation of spectral purity. Means if the spectrum is very pure means it having a single frequency, then the temporal coherence will be very large, or it will be infinite. Okay, if the spectrum having the many frequency, so its temporal coherence will be not much pure as compared to the single frequency. Because we can, okay, we'll give some example, then we came to know the bigger picture of this temporal coherence and the spatial coherence. So this is the basic criteria of the how we can differentiate the temporal coherence and what is the meaning of the spectral purity and what is the line width that we can understood from this explanation. Now, suppose we have the, for example, suppose we have the wavelength, suppose we have the light source projecting the wavelength of 6328 angstrom. Okay, and what is this line? This line is known as the neon line. Okay, so for this, the coherence time is given by tau c is 10 for minus 10 second. Okay. So can you calculate what is the coherence length for this coherence time? Anybody?
Three into 10⁻⁻2 meter.
10 to the power minus
2 meter.
2 meter.
10⁻². Yes, sir.
Anybody? So basically it is
0.08.
so basically if you use this value, so we can calculate this is approximately 3 centimeter for this length. Right? Similarly, suppose we have another wavelength, lambda is equal to 6438 angstrom, and this wavelength is corresponds to the red cadmium light. Red cadmium line. Then for this, the coherence time for this wavelength for this line is basically tau c is equal to 10 to the power minus 9 seconds. So can you calculate the coherence length for this LC?
Thirty centimeter.
Yes, because this is 3 centimeters, so this is 1, so this will be 30 centimeters. Okay. So the coherence time for a laser is usually much larger in compared to the ordinary light source. As we have discussed, the ordinary light source have produced a range of the frequency. They are not the monochromatic, so their coherence time is very, very small compared to the coherence time of a laser, because laser is produce a very, very pure monochromatic light. Ideally, it is not monochromatic, but we call it monochromatic because in compared to the ordinary light source, the line width is very, very narrow of the laser light. Okay. So in that case, if you compare, so an ideal, for example, if you take a helium neon laser, so this helium neon laser shows coherence time of approximately this is equal to the 50 millisecond. Okay. So this will give the coherence time, coherence length approximately it is equal to the 15,000 kilometers. Okay. So you can think of this distance 15,000 kilometers. A laser light will give the coherence length, means the sinusoidal behavior of this light source which is produced by this helium neon laser will be up to the 15,000 kilometers, which is exceptional. Okay, but if you consider some practical helium neon laser source, which mostly used in our laboratory for the research purpose, then for that the coherence time is not 50 milliseconds, but it is lesser than this. So the coherence time is around 50 nanosecond. Okay, you see that here it was 50 millisecond. Here, practically what we use in our lab for the research purpose is coherence time is 50 nanosecond. It is the 50 nanosecond, the coherence time, the coherence length approximately will be reduced to from 15,000 kilometer to 15 meters. Okay. So the light will show the sinusoidal behavior for the 15-meter distance. So you can see that depending upon the different laser source, the coherence time is the difference, and hence the coherence length of that source is also that vary depending upon the coherence time. Okay. So now let's see some example. What is the meaning of the special coherence and temporal coherence? The other way. understand it in the better way. So further we saw that this is the monochromatic light that show the sinusoidal behavior, but in the practically what happens, this sinusoidal behavior it breaks down because when atom interact with the another atom, then this emitted radiation, this phase of this emitted radiation is changes with the time. For example, suppose one wave is going like this, then after some time this is changing. Okay, then after some time again it is changing like this. So we see that here, up to here, they are having one frequency at one period. Up to here, they having different frequency range. Up to here, they having the different frequency range. So for this is the coherence time. It is the time unit. This is the tau c for this region, and this region. Okay, and if the two light waves, they are having they are in this range, then they are in this time duration, they will be the phase, and we can say that their phase can be predictable. What will be the phase in this duration? Okay, so let's see some other example to understand this. So now we have here let's consider here a point source. Okay, so this point source, we know that this will emit the spherical waveform, and this spherical waveform will look like this. So here is the point source here at this point, and this is the spherical waveform produced by this point source. But we have taking only this area. So this wave will go here also and here also. Because this is the spherical waveform, so it will spread all around all the directions. But we are considering only this direction because this is sufficient to explain the behavior of this source. Okay, so this is the monochromatic source we are considering here. Monochromatic source, as we explained, that it will having the single frequency. So what is this? It is the sinusoidal behavior. So we can consider that along this direction. This is so this is the maxima, this is the minima, maxima, minima, maxima, minima, maxima, minima. So basically, this is the behaving a sinusoidal behavior like this. Okay, along this axis. So we can say that if this is the monochromatic light point source here, the source is the monochromatic, it is producing a single frequency light radiation, then we can say that what will happen at this point here, this is the P1 prime. Okay. Similarly, after some time, same phase, same phenomena, what is happening at this point can be seen after some time at this point. Similarly, what will happen here, one can predict what will happen our time before at this point, P2 prime. What the main conclusion is that if this point source is the monochromatic point source emitting a single frequency, then one can predict what will happen here if you know the information at this point. So after certain time, the same information, same behavior one can see at this P2 prime, at this P3 prime. Or if you know what is happening here at this point, so one can predict what will happen after certain time at the P1 prime. Because these all P3 prime, P2 prime, P1 prime, they are in the phase. Okay, because of this monochromatic nature, these points are in the phase, and hence this coherence time is this source is a completely completely temporal coherence. We can say that this source is completely temporal coherence. Coherent. Okay. Source is completely temporal coherence, and here the temporal coherence length is infinite, tending very large, as you can see. Okay, because at after certain time here, what is the phase here? After certain time, we can predict what will be the phase here, and because all these 3 points are correlated to each other. Okay, because all these points are correlated to each other, that's why this source is known as completely temporal coherent source. Okay. Now let's say another example in compared to this. So here, so now here we are taking a point source that emits the monochromatic light source. Now here we are taking a point source that is not monochromatic. Okay. It is producing a frequency, different frequency with the at the different time. So for example, suppose this is producing this frequency initially, then after certain time it is producing this frequency, then after certain time this is producing like this, and then again this is producing like this. So you see that here the period of the wavefront which is produced by this point source is different up to here. Then in this range it is different. Then in this range it is different. Then it is different. Okay, because this is the not a monochromatic source. This is not a monochromatic source, but this is a monochromatic source. So what will happen? What is the difference will happen between this and this? So we can see that similarly we can take up many points along this axis. Along this axis, we are going to choose some points, and we'll see that suppose I am choosing this point here. This is the P1 prime. So what will happen at the P1 prime? The same this point, and what will happen at this point P1 prime? Suppose here P2 prime. They are not correlated to each other. This point and this point. Further, we can say that we cannot say what will happening here after certain time. What the phase will be here, we cannot say in this case, because this is having the different period, different frequency. This is having the different frequency. These 2 points are not correlated to each other. Okay, so in this way, in compared with this, we can say that this source, this point source is not a completely temporal coherent source. Okay, or we can say that this is the it is partially temporal coherent source. Why partially temporal coherent source? But we can say that here we can see that these 2 points are not correlated to each other. In compared here, all the points are correlated to each other. The phase distribution is predictable. But here the phase distribution, what is happening here, we cannot predict what is the phase at this point. But how we can say that this is a partially temporal coherent? We can say that this is a partially temporal coherent source because of, suppose I am taking another point here at P3 point, this point and this point. So we see that here these are the same period. So what is the phase here? We can predict the phase after certain time here also. So these 2 points are correlated to each other, but these 2 points are not correlated to this any point of this region or any point of this region or any point of this region. Okay. So this correlation happening in very short duration or in the short length. So we can say that this source is a partially temporal coherent source, while this is a purely temporal coherent source. Okay, so this is a very clear difference between these two kind of source.
सर
Yes,
सर ये मोनोक्रोमेटिक सोर्स होते हैं वो हमेशा टेम्पोरल कोहेरेंट होंगे.
yes. So now let's see another points on this diagram. For example, I am taking this point. This is P1, this is the P2 prime, and this is the P3. So we see that since these points P1, P2 prime, and P3, they are lying on the same spherical wavefront. Okay, they are lying on the same spherical wavefront. It means they are lying at a different location, but they are lying on the same spherical wavefront. So these points always will be in the phase. Okay, and hence since all these points, 3 points are in the phase, so we can say that this represents nothing but the special, it's the complete special coherence. Complete special coherence. Special coherence means the different position they are in the phase, so we call it a special coherent points. Okay, but what happening here? Here we are considering different time. At this time, at the particular time T1, this is having a phase, a certain phase. At a particular time T2, this having the same phase. A particular time after T3, this having the same phase. So this is called the temporal coherence, and this is the different location we are discussing is called the special coherence. Similarly, if you consider here the 3 points, suppose here P1, this is the P2, and this is the P3. Here also, since all these points are lying in the same spherical wavefront, so these points, and these points are in the phase, and also here we see the complete special coherence. Okay. So in this way, one can describe when the source will be special coherent, and when the source is the completely temporal coherent, when it is the partially temporal coherent, when it is the what is the coherence length, what is the coherence time of the source. Okay. Similarly, suppose here we are discussing 1 point source, and here also only 1 point source. Similarly, there may be a wide line. Suppose this is not a point source but a line source. Line source means each point will behave as a source. Okay, so each point will produce a spherical wavefront. So similarly, one can describe in this case also the types of the coherence, special coherence and the temporal coherence. Also, we discussed about the monochromaticity. So we know that delta nu upon nu is represent the monochromaticity of the source. Okay. Sometimes it is known as the spectral purity. Monochromaticity is known as also the spectral purity. Okay. And also we know the frequency spread. Frequency spread that is given by delta nu is equal to 1 upon tau c, coherence time. Frequency spread of the given by delta nu is equal to 1 upon tau c, and so these are the some definition about the coherence length, coherence time, temporal and specific coherence of the source. So any questions so far here? Any doubt? Anybody has? Any questions so far?
Sir,
No, sir.
Yes.
sir, ये temporal है और longitudinal way
What is
के लिए
temporal
कैसे
and
नहीं टेम्पोरल कोहेरेंस और लॉन्गिट्यूडनल साइड के लिए ले सकते हैं क्या?
No,
special होते हैं।
longitudinal is again the distance. This distance. But the temporal we are asking at the different time. Okay. It's not the same.
Yes, sir.
So if there's no further questions, so see you in the next class. I will send the links up on the YouTube